Chamundeshwari Kshetra Shasakada Sri G.T. Devegowda, Chairman of the Yoga Federation of India, Sri Ashok Kumar Agarwal, CEO of the Yoga Federation of India, Srimati Indu Agarwal, the very many guests of honor here today who have come in from all corners of India representing various yoga institutions and federations. My pranams to all of them. हिंदी तो मेरा इतना अच्छा नहीं है, लेकिन भारत का कोने कोने से जो योगा प्रतिनिधि यहाँ आए, आप सभी को मैं मैसूर में स्वागत करता हूँ। और हमारा जो गणपति सत्यानंद दासी में हमारा मैसूर की कल्चरल सेंटर जो है, यहाँ आपका पूरा मैं स्वागत करता हूँ। और ये जो 50th गोल्डन जुबली सीनियर योगा स्पोर्ट्स चैंपियनशिप है, आप सभी को, आपका जो पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं सभी योगा की जो प्रैक्टिशनर्स हैं, आप सभी को मैं अभिनंदन व्यक्त करता हूँ। आई एम रियली ऑनर्ड टू बी हियर अमंगस्ट ऑल ऑफ यू टुडे टू be a part of the inauguration of what is, I believe, a very important development. Yoga today is recognized world over as a means of quality living, as a means of bettering our livelihood, as a means of giving understanding and meaning to life. It has, through many, many ways, evolved and become, various facets of it have become various parts of very many of our lives. We understand it, of course, from its primary philosophical basis. Secondary, we understand it, of course, as a means of better health. We practice pranayama and various asanas to ensure that we have a healthier livelihood. And lastly, today I think an example of it, it has also become part of our sport, meaning we are now competing to show how good we can perform yoga asanas, and the more complex asanas and the more complex yoga we can do. It's a matter of pride for us to showcase it, and in the spirit of unity, come together towards showcasing that and compete towards bettering ourselves in the practice of yoga. And this is indeed a very welcome development and something that we should, within the broader spectrum of yoga and understanding its core philosophical principle, be a part of promoting such wonderful ventures. In view of that, I extend my heartiest thanks to His Holiness Sri Ganapati Satchidanand Swamiji for extending this venue towards the Yoga Federation of India and giving us this opportunity to showcase this here in Mysore. I also thank the Yoga Federation of India and the Asian Yoga Federation for hosting this tournament here in Mysore and giving a framework for all of India to participate and showcase our yoga talent. As I already mentioned, yoga has reached very much great heights and is now famous world over. But as Indians, we need to view yoga primarily from its philosophical standpoint. It is one of the 6 schools of what is Astika Dharma in India. It is practiced as a means of living a quality life and giving meaning towards life as well. From this viewpoint, the exercise, today the sport, the breathing, of course today as a means of healthier living, and eventually the philosophical basis all point towards one thing, is to live quality life and to give meaning to life as well. And this basis is what we want when we move towards our Prime Minister Viksit Bharat. Because at the end of the day, while we are of course looking for the complete economic development of India, the basis for that development is Indian culture, is Indian soft power, which is nothing but our yoga itself. And that is what we need to ultimately push and understand, that the basis and the way Indians live their life, that spiritual basis, it comes from practicing yoga and from the philosophical basis of yoga. And this aspect of it we should always understand and move forward with that understanding while enjoying other means of doing yoga, such as the asana, such as vinyasa, such as sporting competitions, and everything else that comes along with it. I am of course very honored that this program is happening in Mysore. Many of you may know this history, but modern yoga completely was birthed in Mysore. If you today yoga and its modern understanding of vinyasa and what we practice today as a complete dynamic yoga, it owes its existence to Mysore. Shree Krishnamacharya, who is considered the father of modern yoga, was practicing yoga in the Banaras Hindu University. And my forefather, Shree Krishnamacharya, one of the revered maharajas of Mysore, happened to be at that time, he was the founding chancellor of the Banaras Hindu University. The union of the two led them to come to Mysore and practice yoga at the Maharaja Sanskrit College. And at the Maharaja Sanskrit College, while of course having there his primary two disciples were of course the revered Sri B.K. Saingar and of course Sri Patabi Joyce as well, who took yoga of course to the international stage, and we have of course very many international representatives here as well who will attest to that history as well also. One crucial development which happened in Mysore, which I hope all of our yoga fans here will appreciate, is the fact that yoga went from a static pose. From time immemorial, it was always a static practice to a dynamic practice because of Shree Krishnamacharya. The Maharaja said that while yes, dynamic and mobility is very important, we also need to encourage aspects of endurance and strength to build a more vibrant and a robust physical body. And it was this direction that Shree Krishnamacharya saw. He saw the wrestling akhadas which were behind the Sanskrit college and incorporated the dhands, which then eventually became the Surya Namaskar and then eventually the practice of vinyasa. So today Surya Namaskar we all practice daily. It is a creation of Mysore and Shree Krishnamacharya as well. These are few snippets of what yoga history is in Mysore. Of course, Shree Krishnamacharya also, his original reference point for the 108 asanas which were documented were in the Shree Tattvanidhi of Mummadi Krishnamacharya, which is Malodi Krishnamacharya's grandfather, and he had documented in the Shree Tattvanidhi. And from that, and then his own travels to the Himalayas, he had learned a great amount of asana and of yoga practice and its philosophical basis. But I need not say this is a very small chapter in the yoga history of India. Its yoga belongs to the entirety of India, and Mysore, having played a small part in its modern role, I think we take great pride in it, and we encourage all of India to be part of that aspect and part of that custodianship within that Mysore yoga framework as well. Of course, yoga dates back time immemorial. The original document, one of the oldest documents in India, is the Pashupati seal from the Indus Valley, rather we should say the Saraswati Valley, River Valley civilization. And there we see, of course, the Pashupati doing the Mula Bandhasana, one of the most complex asanas that we can do there, which can understand that if this seal itself is 5,000 years ago, you must imagine how much development of yoga has happened before that to reach such a complex asana as Mula Bandhasana. So the yoga is time is being